Well, we can talk now to Diane Mayhew from the campaign group Rights for Residents. Diane, you've been campaigning for a long time for the restrictions around care homes to be eased, and you've been doing so for a very personal reason. Just remind us of what happened to you and your partner.
Yeah, my partner's mum was in a nursing home and, we had to endure one of these horrendous window visits and watch her literally decline in front of our eyes without being able to help her. And that's why we set up Rights for Residents. But that was in August 2020. And we're now in, January 2022. So it's been a long journey, a very difficult fight. Our members have been literally writing to their MPs in droves, asking for all restrictions to be lifted now to be able to visit care homes. The only thing is great that we've also asked for the isolation period to be brought in line with staff, and that hasn't been introduced as yet. And unfortunately, many relatives and residents are stuck in this trapped system of rolling outbreaks that every time 2 cases of COVID are positive in a care home, they lock down for 14 days. And then if there's another positive case, it rolls on to another 14 days. So we've been hearing from members who have literally had like 3 rolling outbreaks and not being able to go in. So although it's fantastic news that it's unlimited, obviously, people can't go in during an outbreak unless you're an essential care supporter. And I think, this has to be brought in line with the staff isolation period right away.
Yeah, it's difficult to make this point, Diane, given the agony that you and so many people like you have been through. But the government, throughout the pandemic, around these rules and putting them in place and keeping them in place, has been and is trying to do what it thinks is right and the right thing to try and protect lives.
I understand that, great, but even before Christmas, Oxford scientists were reporting about excess deaths, not from COVID, but people dying of thirst, starvation, loneliness, isolation, so that COVID isn't the only killer, and we have to balance that risk. And I don't think there has been a balance. I think it's just been, purely centred around COVID. And, relatives need to be treated with a little bit more respect. They are not going to be living an irresponsible lifestyle when they know they're going into a care home. It's ridiculous. When restrictions was eased in the community for all staff, then they can go to football matches, nightclubs, they can indulge in all social activities and then go into a care home, but relatives can't.
Yeah, and the permanent change in the law that you're seeking now is, I guess, pandemic or not, it's as important that people are not left alone as it is to keep them safe. That's the thrust of it, right?
Absolutely, yeah, we're Gloria's law. We're calling for an essential care supporter to be enshrined in law so that, inevitably, if this happens again, that 1 or 2 people can go in and support that person when they need it most and be their essential care supporter. And that's whether they're in a care home, a hospital, a mental health setting. It's all equally as important, and that has to be made law.
Diane Mayhew, many thanks for sparing us the time this lunchtime. Thank you.
Thank you.
A driver who says he tried to use his car to stop a man attacking a woman in the street has issued a statement through a lawyer defending